Today's video, I will be teaching you on how to cut a. I'll be taking it step by step. I'll be using my round hip measurement to calculate this work. My round hip is 48. This 48, I'll divide it into 2. 48 divided by 2 is 24. 24, this 24 serves as my front part and my back part. My front part now is 24. 24, I will minus 2 inches from this 24. Alright? So when I minus 2 inches from 24, what remains is 22. So this 22 now stands as my front part. Now I come straight to my back part. My back part is 24. This 24, the 2 I minus from the front part, I will add it to the back part. Why did I add it? Is because the back has butt, while the front is flat. Alright, so after adding these 2 inches to this 24, what I got the total is 26. Now I will divide this the front and the back. Remember I said I'm making 8 pieces skirt. It's very simple. Now this front part that is 22 divided by 8. Just divide it straight. Or you can divide 24, this 22 divided by 4. Whatever you got there, you divide it again into 2 to get your final calculation. But for it to be easy for you, just calculate it at once. 22 divided by 8, because I'm making 8 pieces skirt, is 2.75. Even if you divide it into 4 and divide it again, I'm still going to get this my 2.75. Now I come straight to my back part. My back part now is 26. 26 divided by 8 is 3.25. It will be easier for you. Divide it straight. That is 26 divided by 8 is 3.25 for my own measurement. Yours may be different measurement. Now after I've calculated all these things, now I will now come down to this side. I will bring this my back part, which is 3.25, and I bring my front part, which is 2.75. Now 3.25, I will minus this front part, minus 2.75, 0.5. So when I start to cut this dress, you will understand the reason why I minus this, what this thing is all about. Alright, so that is the difference between, that is what will give us the butt and the back part. So I will go straight to the cutting part, and I will apply this my measurement on my work. Alright, I know you will get it. Just all you need to do is to watch it to the end. Please try and watch this video so that you can get this calculating the way I calculate it right and cut it. And like I said, on this the cutting part, this my skirt, this 6 pieces skirt is not going to be long. I will make it short skirt. Short skirt. You can make yours long, but on this one I'm making it short. Alright, so the flare at this down part is 9 inches. I want my flare at this down part to be 9 inches. God is on fold. I fold it into 2. I fold it into 2. So from here to here is 9 inches. When I open it, what I will get when I open it will be 18 inches into the cutting part. Alright, so I will start to place the, my measurement now. I've folded my dress into 2. I fold it into 2. Like I said, the width, the wideness of the full length is 9, and this is my 9 inches here. Alright, so when I open it, it will give me 18. Because I will be adding band at the front part, so I will place my tape at this front part like this, and take my hip line. This is my hip line. And after that, I'll take my knee length. My knee length is 18 inches. Like as I explained to you, when you measure your knee length, you minus 2 inches. So go up by 2 inches. So what will remain will be 18 inches. Because I measure my knee length is 20. I minus 2 from it, it remain 18 inches. So this one now is my hip line. This is my knee length. So the next thing to take now is the full length of my skirt. Like I said earlier, I'll be making it short skirts. You can make yours long skirts, depends. So the short of my skirt is 30 inches, and I'll be adding you can add 1 inches for the weaving. Like next thing to do now, I will start working with the front part. Like I said, the front part after our calculation is 2.75 for my measurement, and I will add 1 inches for it. That makes it 3.75. So I start from this side, this folding part here. I fold it like this. For my folding part, I measure my 275. Right? This is my 275. I add my 1 inches for the sewing allowance. Alright. So I will take it to my knee length. Now I've gone down to my knee length here. This knee length is optional. You can reduce half inches like this. You can reduce half inches. You can reduce your half inches like this, right? Or you can make it like this. But when I'm making any of my pieces, whether it's or whatever pieces I'm making, I don't minus anything from this knee length. So from this for my waist side, I connect together. So my hip, and I connect it straight to my knee length. I make it straight. I hope you understand it. But if you want to minus yours from the knee length, from like this, just take it like that. Alright, it's an optional. Either you minus half inches from the knee length, or you take it straight. It's still the same thing. So from here, I'm going to take it straight to my full length. Alright, so I'll be placing my ruler like this and take it to my full length. I hope you see the shape comes out even without minusing these half inches. So this makes it so perfect. Alright. Just in case if you want to minus half inches from this knee length, let me show you how you can do that and connect it. Like I said, I've already removed half inches. I'll place my ruler at this half inches here and connect it like this. Alright, to my full length. Either you minus from this side and connect it to the full length, or you leave it. And follow it straight. Alright, so I'm done cutting this work. I hope you see it, very easy. The shapes has come out. Without removing this one half inches here, it still give me what I want. So I will use this one now to cut the rest, the remaining 3 parts. Alright. Before using this one to cut the remaining 3, I will notch this my hip side. I always notch whatever I'm cutting so that when I'm joining it, I will know that this is my hip part. Always notch it. So I'll be notching it right now. Just notch it little. See, with this one now, you will know where the hip is. All right. I don't need to notch this one because already the shape the curve have shown there. But you can see just for you to get it right, you can just notch it little. This notching is very, very important. Very, very, very important. So like I said, I'll take it to cut the rest one. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. So this 4 stand as the front part. So the next thing to do now is to take this is to make this shape. All right, it's to 1 inches. From here I'll go up by 1 inches to get this curve. So from there I'll curve it like this, so that it will give me this nice curve at the down part. The mouth won't be pencil. It's still optional. If you like, you can do that, but it's always come out with nice shape. All right. So after that, so I've curved it. See the shape, how the shape comes out. All right. So the next thing to do now is to cut the back part. So I'm done with this front part. All right. So I will use the front part to trace the back part. All right. I fold my back parts into 2. Look at it. I fold it into 2 like this. So now I take my front part, the pattern I've cut before, the first one I cut, I place it on this the back part to trace it. All right. I'm not going to add any allowance on the back part again. I've done that when I was cutting this front part. The 1 inches I added is include the back part. All right. So I'm going to use this front part to trace the back part. You see how I place it? Place my measurement again. Look at it. Like I said, my back part is 3.25. all right, while the front part is 2.75. So this 3.25, I will minus this 2.75 from it. What I will got, that will be 0.5. That is half inches. So this half inches is what I will place on this my hip side. That is what I will give me my hip curve. All right. Now I take my tape like this. I take my tape. Make sure I use chalk to trace my hip line. Please use pin to hold your work so that it will not shift. I said it again. All right. Now I take my tape from this my hip part here. I will measure that my half inches, 0.5. All right. I hope you see it now. This is my 0.5. Now from this 0.5, I will connect it to this to meet with my waist. I hope you see this thing now. All right. Now I will connect it like this to meet with my waist. Don't add anything on it. It's just the difference is this hip side. Now I will connect from here to meet with my knee length. So use my chalk to connect it using my ruler. I use my ruler to connect it. All right. Don't add anything except that hip side. The reason why I add it from that hip side is to give me my hip curve. All right. Remember the front part, I curve it. It has curve. All right. Follow the curve. Just follow the shape and curve it like that, because I hope you see it. Okay, you see it right. I just curve it like this. I follow the curve. Remember the front part, I curve it by going up by 1 inches. I curve it. So I still follow the curve and curve it like that. So please, I hope you understand this thing very well. This is my hip curve. The difference here is just the hip, see, the hip curve here. It is. please try and pin your work, your dress, so that it will not shift. So follow the chalk. See the difference there? After finish sewing this your dress, you will appreciate what you have. So I'm still cutting my work. See? So the shape still comes out. See it? The shape is still there. So after that, please try and notch it for my hip. Even without notching it, it will show. Alright, but just notch it. Like I said, it's very, very important. Notch it. Alright, I've notched it already. I will use this back part now to cut the remaining 3 parts so that you make it 4. Alright, like I said, I'm making 8 pieces. Front is 4 pieces. Back part is 4 pieces. So I'm going to cut the remaining 3 to make it 4. Alright, so I'm done cutting the back. Just look at this one. This one here is the back part, while this one is the front part. See, the back part is bigger than the front part. Alright, see the difference there? This ½ inch here. I hope you see the difference. This is the front, this is the back part. So I will take this my pattern to go to cut the lining. So I will cut the lining exactly the way I cut the main fabric. That is how I will cut my own lining. So I finished using the lining to sew with the pieces. Alright, so the next thing to do now is to join the pieces together. So I bring one pieces like this, and this is the second one. So I'm going to be joining them with 1 inches. Remember, when I was cutting it, I added 1 inches for my sewing allowance. Is that same 1 inches I will use to join all the pieces to the down part. Alright, part. So I've joined the front part first. Look at how it comes out. Alright, see my flare, very full. See the front, very flat. Alright, so look at the 1 inches I sew. There is all one inches. Alright, even if I measure it, is 1 inches. It can't be more than that 1 inches. Alright, is 1 inches. I measure that all my hips are together. Look at it. Where I notch, they are all together. I use pin to hold it so that it will not shift. All the hips are together. Both my knee length. I use pin to hold everything before sewing my 1 inches. Make sure to sew 1 inches. Now this is the first pieces, second one, third and fourth. Alright. So the next thing to do now is to go and sew the back parts. What I'm sewing now, I'm going to be taking it all the way to the full length. This is what I do for the rest of the pieces, 1 inches. Because it's 1 inches I added when I was cutting the work. So that same 1 inches is what I'm sewing. So I'm done with it. So I've joined all the pieces. Alright. So the same that 1 inches. If I measure it now, it's my 1 inches. So I'm done with it. I use 1 inches to join all the pieces. This is the number 1, first pieces, second, third, fourth. So I use 1 inches for it. So I will now use this side as my zip allowance. I hope you understand it. Now with this one now, it will be enough for me for zip allowance. For this zip allowance here, remember that zip length, the length of zip is 8 inches. Alright. So when I want to fix my zip now, I will loose from here up to this 8 inches and attach my zip. Alright. So the same this 1 inches, I sew it all the way to the full length. I hope you understand it. So the next thing to do now is to shape the dress together. And before shaping the dress together, so I want to curve the front of this dress, but it's optional. You can shape it or you can still leave it. Now for this place, I fold the front part, not the back, the front part. I will fold it together like this. I will fold it together to remove 1 inch and curve it. See what I'm doing? From this part now, so I will measure 1 inch. After I fold my dress, my skirt, I use my tape and measure 1 inch. So this is my 1 inch because I don't want the front part for the waist to be straight. I want it to be curved. So after that, I use my scissors to cut it. All right, please do me a thumbs up, like this video. So I'm done with this. So the next thing to do is to shape my dress. See, so I will bring the back part to put it together for shape, to shape it. Once again, when you want to shape it, please try and pin this hip side. I'm always concerned on this hip side, so that after making your dress, maybe because if you don't notch it after sewing it, it will go like this and it won't be good. Like this one now go this way, why this notch go this way, it won't be good. But with this notching, you pin it. When we are after finish sewing, everything will be equal. All right, I will start to shape my skirt from the waist. On this my skirt, I'll be attaching elastic at the waist side here. All right, now my round waist skirt is 38. Because of the elastic, I will add 4 inches. That makes it 42. But if you are not attaching rubber as an elastic at the waist side, you use your normal waist measurement to shape your skirt. All right, like I said, my waist skirt measurement is 38 plus 4, 42. Now 42 divided by 4 is 10 and a half. Now to divide your skirts, divide it into 4. I've made video on how to shape your skirt, your gown. Please check the video on my channel, and so that you know how to shape your dress. Very easy. All right, you divide your tape into 4 and take your measurement, your shaping of your dress. All right, now I take 10 and a half here. All right, see the 10 and a half, I choke it there. Now I come to this other side, I'll measure 10 and a half also for my waist, and this is the 10 and a half here for my waist. All right, this is the 10 and a half. So this is the easier way of shaping your dress. Like I said, watch my video on how to shape your dress. I explain it there very well. Very easy to shape your dress. Now after I've done with this waist side, I will come down to my hip side. Like I said, I've pinned it so that I will know where my hip is. And apart from that, I've already notched it. With this notching, I will know where my hip is. Now I will come here. My hip is 48. My right hip is 48. I divide my round hip into 4 again. What I'll get there, see how I place my tape. It will be on top the zip. I've fixed the zip already. Now my tape will be on top this zip, and I will now measure my 12 inches. All right, so this is my 12 inches. I hope you see, this is my waist, this is my hip. Now I come to this other side. I will place my tape on top the zip. This is 12, and I will take it to this other side. All right, so I've taken my measurement for the skirt. I will come down to my knee length. Now whatever I get from my hip, that is what I will use for my knee length. I hope you understand it. Like I said, my hip is 12 inches. Look at it, it's 12 inches. Alright, so this same 12 inches, I will use this for my nail length. Don't increase it, don't reduce it. So this is my 12 inches. So the same thing, I will take it to the other side. Now we come down to the full length. I don't need to measure it. Whatever I get here, I'm going to connect everything together to meet with the full length. Now I'm connecting it now with my ruler. I'll place ruler. This is my waist and this is my hip. I connect it together like this. I hope you see it. I will take it straight again to my knee length. This is my hip and this is my knee length. I connect it with my ruler again. Alright, so this is what I'll be sewing, and I will sew it. I'll follow it straight down. I still use my ruler to do that so that I will know what I'm doing. So see what I did now. So the next, I will do the same thing at the other side. The same thing, I will connect everything together. I hope you see it. I will connect everything together to this side and follow it straight to my full length. I hope you see what I did here. It's very, very easy. So the next thing to do now is to take it to the machine and sew exactly on top this chalk. Don't sew more than that. Don't sew below that. Just on top the chalk. I will sew on top this chalk straight. I will follow the curve, the chalk, follow you straight to this full length. After that, I'll bring it for you to see so that I can fit the band. Alright, so I've shaped the skirt. See the fitting, how nice it is. See my flare, very wide, very full. In case if you don't want to be full like that, you can reduce it. Alright, so this is how I want my flare to come out. So after that, the next thing to do now is to fix my elastic. How to fix elastic is this. I will measure the waist. Whatever I get, I will times it into 2. From here, when I times it into 2, that gives me exactly my 42 inches. Now I will measure this 42 like this. This is the band I'll be using for this my skirt. So this is 42 inches plus the sewing allowance. I make everything 44. Alright, I make it 44 for the sewing allowance. So now I will take my band. You can attach interfacing on it or you can leave it. It's optional. On this video, I am not attaching interfacing on it. I'm going to be sewing it like that. The next thing to do, make sure you use your iron to measure, to iron like half inches like this, half inches this other side. So and take it like this to your skirt. See what I will do. I've fixed my zip already. I will take it and open the zip part like this so that I can see what I'm doing. Alright, I remove my zip first and see how I do it now. The band must be equal with the skirt when you are sewing it. See? So I will take my pin now and pin it like this. I will pin it like this. I'm going to be sewing half inches. It must be half inches, alright? You can use your tape to measure half inches and sew it. So I will sew from this half inches here. I will sew this band round. I will make sure that I follow this round. Please try and iron it so that when you are sewing it, you will know where the half is. So I'm going to be sewing it half like this. I will sew it half like this. I will sew it round to the my zip, this other zip side. And let me show you how to cut the elastic. Now, when you want to fix elastic on your skirt, wherever your dart is, this is the front dart and this is my back dart. All right. Now, whether you're making pieces skirts or pencil skirts, wherever your dart is, that is where you use for your elastic. Now, this is my skirt. I'm making pieces skirt. This is where my dart is. I will take my tape and measure from this dart here to this other dart here. I can easily open it like this so that I can see it and measure. From this front dart like this, I place my tape and measure straight to the back dart. I hope you see it now. So when I measure it like this, what I got there is I got 8.5. All right, from my front dart to my back dart, I got 8.5. Now, to cut my elastic on this my skirt, I'm not going to cut exactly 8.5 as the band. No, as my elastic, because if I cut exactly this 8 inches, it's not going to gather at all. So what I will do now, this my 8.5 that I've measured already, I will divide it into 2 and use it to cut my elastic. All right, now this is into 2 and that gives me 4.5, 4 1/4. So it's 4 1/4 I'll be cutting for my elastic. Now this will now serve as this side and this other side, so that after sewing my elastic skirt, it will gather very well. All right, I'll be attaching the elastic now. So this is my front dart and this is my back dart, like I said earlier. Now I take my elastic, I come to this my first my front dart. This is my front dart, and look at it here. This sewing part here, I will raise it up like this. Don't bring it down and sew your elastic. Take it up like this and take your elastic and place it here. All right, see what I do? Not like this, like this. On top this sewing part here, make sure that the elastic is not on top this thread, because this is where I will be sewing. I'm going to use pin to hold it down. Now I use my pin to hold it down. All right, so I will first of all use machine to hold it down, so that when I'm sewing this band, it will not remove. Now I'll take it like this to meet the back darts. All right, this is the darts, and I use pin to hold it. All right, so I use pin to hold it. All right, so the same thing I did here, I will do it on this side also. Look at it. So when I'm sewing it, I'll be dragging it so that it will gather together. So this is how I will sew it. So this is the band from the zip part. I'll start to sew like this. I fold it like this and like this. So what I did, I'll bring it, fold it together and bring it to this side. All right, so this is my 1 inches. So I will hold it now. So I use pin to hold it down. See? So I'll hold it like this with a pin. I'll come to this side again. I'll be sewing it. That's why I said try and iron the 1/2 inches. All right. See what I do here? This is my elastic here. I put it down and start to draw it. So I'll be sewing it like this on top this side where my chalk is. So as I'm sewing it, I'll be drawing it. I'll be dragging it so that it will gather together. So this is what I'll be doing I'll be sewing, I'll be dragging it. I will drag it so that it will gather together like this. So this is what I'll be doing like this. I'll be sewing it all the way to this zip side, and I'll bring it for you to see. I'm gonna be right. So I will start right. I'm done with the elastic. See how it is, how it drops. So after that, I now take my zip and fix it straight and then sew it on top of it. Alright? So the next thing to do now is to just sew on top this elastic. I'll just draw it and sew it straight. But it's optional. You can leave it like that. You can just sew it on top. So let me see that I can show you. Alright, so I've sewed thread on top the elastic. You see how easy it comes out? So the next thing to do now is to fold the down parts. I'll be folding mine. You can weave yours. You can fold it. Now after that, I will weave the inside. So this is how to cut and sew this skirt very easy. Please, if you have not subscribed, please do me well to subscribe on this my channel. Please support me by subscribing on this channel. Do me a thumbs up, like this video and share this video. God bless you as you take your time to watch my video. I love you.